Hi, Intuitive viewers. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're all surviving, surviving this time and this period. So I hope we're all doing okay. I really wanted to get on last night, but I had a allergy, I don't know, allergy attack, I guess. It was probably about 4 o'clock and didn't let up all night. I was feeling just kind of rotten. So I feel better today, but if I look a little tired, that's why. So, okay. So I wanted to give you just a few little things, and then we're going to get on with talking about a little bit about the impeachment and a little bit kind of where we are. I got some messages from my guides to you, so I would like to share those with you. So let me first talk about just a few things. One subscriber named Karen, her son just started a YouTube channel. It's for people that have small businesses during the pandemic. It has some great information and things that are available to small businesses that he tells you about. His name's Ryan, and the channel is called HR Party of One. It's very good if you have a small business, or if you're, thinking about starting one, or you're saving one. It has really good information and suggestions. So that's there for you guys. And I also have Cassie's crowdfunder started for her film. So if you want to support the arts, support Cassie because you love her and I love her too. Support a new artist in the film industry. Her crowdfunder, it starts at $5 and goes up, and you get little gifts if you give certain amounts. It's very well done, I think, and a lot of fun to be involved in something like that. So I will put the information below, but it's for her film, and you can read all about it. And you go to the crowdfunder page and just see everything. And if anything, just send her, a thumbs up, through the comments, and just say well done, and good luck. So whatever you can do is appreciated. So the other couple of things, I wanted to ask for a couple of prayers for people. Billy asked if we can pray for her nephew, Michael, who's in Texas. He is going to undergo a brain surgery, a very difficult brain surgery for a aneurysm, and she's asking for prayers that the procedure will be not very invasive, and they'll be able to reach what they need to through a less invasive procedure than a more invasive procedure, because if they go the more invasive route, there are more risks involved. So she's just praying for prayers for his surgery on the 11th. So if you can please remember Michael in your prayers, send him love and light, and lots of support and prayers. And then we also have Kailyn in California. Her grandma is very concerned about her. She's a preteen, isolated because of the pandemic, which a lot of teens are, struggling with mental health issues, with some depression. And so if you can also remember Kailyn in your prayers, to send her love and light, lots of support and love and healing. And, healing, health is health. So healing for her mental health. And so we send lots of love and light to those who are struggling in all different kinds of ways. But we ask for those specific prayers for those specific people right now. Okay. So I wanted to get to a couple of messages from my guides for you guys, and I hope they're helpful for the week going forward. And they were for me, but I'm sharing them with you. And I feel like they were meant to be shared with you because that's why they're given to me, but I intend to follow this advice. So I wanted to share it with you. One is that as you're watching the impeachment hearings, they really stressed, advised, offered the advice to not get caught up in the drama, to understand that this is the final act of something, and that some people will hang on for dear life. Some people will not. Some people will reject, Trump and Trumpism. We'll hear things that will be upsetting to us because we know what we know. We'll hear outright lies. We're also going to hear a lot of, I just heard the word disturbing, but I would say dramatic disturbing, I guess, some testimony that might be kind of disturbing, as far as what people went through, harrowing is another word that comes, people telling their stories. I feel like there's going to be an effort to stop these people from speaking, but it sounds like they may be filmed or something. I feel like the stories are going to come out. So I feel like if they won't let them on the stand, they're going to do it publicly. It's meant for the public to see the harrowing tales of the people that had to go through what happened at the Capitol, the people that were there. And I feel like there's a real effort to bring these stories out. And so my guides are letting us know that these things are going to be happening. And so to understand that we're moving out of this period, and it's not something that we have to be laser focused on the way we were before the election, when we really needed to make sure there was action involved. This is going to be left up to our representatives. Call them if you want to. Watch the proceedings if you'd like to. Let them know, whatever you feel you need to do or that you can do to help, do that. But try to stay, don't be pulled into it. Don't, as Eckhart Tolle says, don't become unconscious. Don't lose sight of where we are now. Don't go back. Okay. Does that make sense? So hopefully you understand that it's kind of like we're moving in a different direction, and I feel like Spirit wants to keep us in a mindset that is positive and that's moving forward, and that we're in the process of evolving right now. So they don't want us to backtrack. I feel like that's what they're trying to get us to understand or to do. The other thing is that we are we're in a position where we're in the process of moving forward. This kind of big change we're talking about, this shift we're talking about, we're in the midst of it right now, where it's like and I asked for an analogy for you in my meditations to give you, to help you understand, to help me understand really, but I'm passing it on to you because it helped me understand a lot better. But there's the analogy they used was one of a train. All of us that have gone through this and realize, okay, what's what and where we want to go and what we want to do. Since the election, since Georgia, we took it all. We're on the train. We all got on a train together, and we're all on the train going forward. Okay. And we'll reach our destination. We're not there yet, but we will reach our destination. Okay. But we're on the train right now. We're on the tracks. We're going forward. It's a nice analogy. I liked it. Okay. The other part of the analogy is that, so where are the other people? They're at the train station still. Some people are, they deny there's any trains. They don't want to get on the train. They don't like the train. They think the train's stupid. They, they're throwing stuff at the conductor. There's anger at different levels. But every day at noon, a train's going to leave, and they can get on it at any time and join us up the tracks. And this impeachment hearing is another train leaving. If they want to get on it, they can. If they don't want to, they can stay at the train station and do whatever they're going to do. But here's the thing. From now on, the train station is going to deteriorate. It's going to get worse. And so, although we're moving in a direction, we may still witness things that are unsavory, that are not great, that are annoying, that we don't like. There's going to be those people that are going to be, trying to kick up dust, the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world. And Spirit is just letting us know, hey, they're at the train station. We've already left. They're doing their thing. We're doing our thing. They'll eventually get on a train, or they won't. Either way, we're moving on. And we have work to do. We've got stuff to do. And there's going to be more and more and more people understanding where we need to go. Okay. And we can see why it had to get as bad as it did to get people to move in a direction. A lot of people still voted for Trump, even through all of this. And so we learned our lesson early on. We understood where we were, what was happening, but people needed to learn the lesson too. And so we had to go through quite a lot to get people on board to move so that we could save the planet, save mankind, do big stuff like that, save our souls, move spiritually forward too. So, but there is free will involved here. So people can move when they want to move, and we can do what we need to do as well. We can move forward. So, and I know it's sometimes hard to hear, right? Because it's like, more people are going to get hurt. More people are going to suffer until everybody's on board. But we have free will here. And so there's always going to be, if it's not in the United States, there's still going to be places in the world where they're not getting on board and they don't want to, and it's going to be a struggle. And we struggle along. This is the human race, right? We've seen it at all points in history, and we get it together for a while and then it falls apart again. And we get it together for a while, it falls apart again. It's a constant thing. And so that's why Spirit is always so clear that it starts here. I was reminded about several times in the Bible, Christ talks about the kingdom of heaven, and it's through him, meaning it's through ourselves. We have the kingdom of heaven is within. It's not out here. Out here is going to always be changing, always be a new leader is going to be here or there, a new this or that's going to happen. In here is where it starts and ends, right? As long as this is maintained, what happens out here doesn't affect this as much. And when we're moving out into the world and projecting that calm and that peace and that understanding that there's something bigger at play and that we're all connected, when that is moving about in the world in a strong way, a confident way, it affects everything else. It affects everything that you touch, right? So do your best to maintain that and then spread it around, right? Okay. So, and it makes it a lot more, to me, that is a lot more doable. When I think about the problems in the world, it becomes so overwhelming. And so when I get overwhelmed like that and I have a meditation, my guides are always like, get small, go inside, and then project that out wherever you go. Just be a light, be any light, because somebody will see it and they'll follow it too. So try to just remember that that light comes from within, and when it's there, it can be seen by others. Others will follow it. Okay. I hope I've made that. I hope I've explained that. Okay. So, so I want to get into just a few predictions. And again, it's like, you think we'd be done, we've passed all this stuff, but there's still so much more ahead. And so that thing about there's going to be some compelling testimony, some compelling witnesses, compelling stuff going on this week with the impeachment hearings. And it's going to be interesting too, because Trump is not going to have the bully pulpit he did before. He's not going to be able to tweet every day and give his opinion and stuff. There's going to be a lot of maybe not a ton, but there will be some opinions changing, because there isn't that counter narrative. There's going to be a narrative being set by the Democrats that's like, this is what happened. You guys all saw it, and we all saw it, right? It wasn't like the perfect phone call that not everybody was witness to. This is something we all saw happen. So anyway. Okay, so I do see that there are some more arrests coming. To me, it has to do with like white supremacy and some of those groups, arrests that are going to be kind of significant and are high profile. And I feel like they'll kind of move things forward in a way and kind of expose some things that we didn't know about, maybe some connections with lawmakers and different groups and stuff, how they kind of intermingle. Because I'm seeing like it's almost like a spider web. It's like these things are all kind of connected and we don't really understand the full picture, but it's going, as arrests start happening and lawsuits start happening, we're going to start seeing these threads, this spider web of, how this was permeated, how it was put into the system in such a deep way. And so as these arrests start happening and as these lawsuits start happening and things, stuff is going to come out. A couple of things that have come to fruition that we talked about before, and the reason I like to bring these up is not to get a pat on the back for me, because it's my guides and I'm constantly saying it's them, it's not me, I don't know anything. Trust me when I say I do not know anything, I'm the telephone. But one is the lawsuits for Fox. We saw that about 6 months ago that was coming, that the lawsuits for Fox, and that it was going to change Fox. It was going to make them change kind of their format and the way they do things. So that was one thing that's happening now that we saw. The other thing that's happening now is I read a story about a lawyer that has a client who was at the Capitol and said that they cannot go to trial until his client goes through literal deprogramming because he's been brainwashed with all of this like conspiracy theories and stuff. And the guy is like, until then, he's unfit to be on trial. So that was something we also saw. I feel like it was maybe the 4th of July. We looked at, and it might've been on like Psychic Sisters channel, something like that, because it was about the MAGA people. And it was, I think it's that one. It may not be, but I think it may be, but it talked about the fact that they would go through literal deprogramming, that they would have to be deprogrammed like cult members, that it would, and they were showing like, remember they showed like the Jonestown massacre and stuff like that. It's all along those same lines of this kind of being a cult. So, or it is a cult, but it was literally people would have to be deprogrammed. So that is also happening. So I thought that was interesting, and I just wanted to share that as well. I'm also seeing something about Russia, something underground going on, something happening underground that we're involved in, it's like pressure. We're pressuring them. Pressure is being built on Russia. I feel like it has to do with Putin, but I also feel like it has to do with they're figuring out what they're doing as far as our it's weird. I was just hearing something about, it's about the computer stuff, but it's also other things they think they're doing underground to hurt it could be like power plants or water plants or something, but it has to do with I feel like it has to do with something that is things that are like vital to survival, food maybe, but it feels like it's like things that are necessities, basically, something about that. So that's just coming through right now. So I'm not sure what that is about, but I was talking about things that are kind of, I feel like we're working underground with other players in Russia to try to pressure them and also to figure things out, like what they are doing, how they're doing it. I feel like I just heard the word infiltrated. We've infiltrated Russia in some ways. So that's what I'm getting. So that's what's happening. It all feels very big in a way. It feels like it's very like we don't even see it, but it's big. It's underground. We're not seeing it, but it's a big thing. For entertainment purposes only. For entertainment purposes only. I don't know anything. I'm telling you, I don't. Okay, so and then the other thing that kept coming through was that these survivors' testimonies, that kept coming up, that phrase, survivors' testimonies. So that's going to be I think maybe a hard thing for them to walk away from, the Republicans. Now, again, this impeachment hearing is another train leaving at noon. They can get on it. They have the choice, just like they had the choice last February to do this, and they will keep having choices. It's going to keep happening. They're going to keep finding things out about Trump. They're going to keep finding things out about other people. They're going to keep having scandal after scandal. It's going to keep happening because until most people are on board the train, we need most people on board so that we can do what we need to do and get where we need to get spiritually. And it's eventually going to happen, you guys. It's eventually going to happen. Now, we may be gone by then. It could be 50 years from now when it actually finally everybody's on board. But over this, from now on, we're just going to see it kind of build and build. And we may take a step back here and there, but we're going forward. It really is happening. And my guys gave the analogy, like, we're on the train. We made it on the train. We were all running for that train and we made it. So now we can kind of, okay, we're on the train. We still have a lot of work to do. We still have things that are going to happen that are ahead, but we're on the train. That was the main thing. We weren't even on the train before. We're on the train. Okay. So I hope this helps and gives you some little, bits of hope here and there. Yeah. So, and some methods in dealing with the week that's coming up, because I think it's going to be a little tough. It's really interesting. There's this channel called, it's a YouTube channel called Cinema Therapy, and you guys might really like it. Cinema Therapy, because it's with a director of movies and a therapist, and they talk about movies together. And it's so interesting and so fun, especially if you love film. But they do I really recommend you watching this, just because I think it will be a little cathartic for you. It's weird. When I watched it, I ran the gamut of being outraged, irritated, elated that we were through it. So happy that we'd gotten through this. But they do a analysis of the movie Tangled, the Disney movie Tangled, about Rapunzel. And it's all about gaslighting. And they talk about Mother Gothel, her mom, the stepmother, that is always gaslighting her. And they go through all of the things that gaslighters do, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, we lived through a gaslighter. So, but it will make you really step back and realize how lucky we were that we got through what we got through, because he's the king of the gaslighters. He really had his stuff down, and I'm sure he was getting his marching orders from Putin. I'm sure that will come out, that a lot of this stuff was coming from Putin. A lot of the things he would say, the suggestions of how to be, what to do next, it was all coming from Putin. But and MBS, all these other jerks that he knows, but mainly Putin. But watch it and see what you think. They do a lot of really good ones. They did Groundhog's Day, which is all about the stages of grief. They do a lot of really good ones, but it's a fun way to look at some issues that we all face, that we all go through. And I just really, I highly recommend it. It's really, really a good series. And on that note too, if you haven't watched the video with Cassie and I, we talk about spirituality and film, and I'm loving reading the comments about all the different films you guys thought of that were have spiritual themes in films. One was Heart and Souls with Robert Downey Jr. I've forgotten about that one. Another one I thought of was Field of Dreams, which was another one I really loved about spirit prompting us, spirit promptings. We have those all the time, and that's a great, if you haven't seen that movie, it's a great movie. It's such an uplifting movie, really sweet. And so anyway, I hope you guys have a good few days. I will get on hopefully before the end of the week, probably during the trial. I'm sure we'll have some stuff that comes up. But I miss you guys one-on-one like this, so I'll still do the one-on-one videos. I'm really enjoying doing the interviews. It's been a lot of fun just talking about the things I love to talk about. I could talk about them for hours. With each of you, I could probably do an interview with each of you too, because I just love talking about these things, and I am so happy to be able to bring some of these new people and new ideas and different ways of looking at things. I think it's so important. So I thank you guys for sticking on this journey with me, and I just love you guys, and thank you guys so much. And please leave comments, and if you want to try my classes, they're at intuitiview.com. I'm going to be doing the end of June to December. I'm going to be booking appointments for readings, and I might add a new little thing that I might try just to fit more people in, but I'm going to be booking that on March 1st. So jump on the website March 1st and get your appointment for, and I would ask, just book one. If you feel like you really, really need more than one, it's fine. But, and if you're booking for someone else, it's fine too. And I'm not going to be as strict as I was before, because I didn't have, I just felt very overwhelmed with the waiting list I had. But I am hoping to come up with another solution so that I don't have to, do that. But I hate being like strict on stuff like that, because I feel like, it's you guys decide what you need and what you want. So anyway, be well. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.